Nammo Phat, good morning. Thank you for joining me for a daily practice check-in. Listen, listen, listen. This beautiful sound calls us back to our true home. The fourth mindfulness training. Aware of the suffering caused by unmindful speech and the inability to listen to others, I vow to cultivate loving speech and deep listening in order to bring joy and happiness to others and to relieve others of their suffering. Knowing that words can create happiness or suffering, I am determined to speak truthfully, with words that inspire self-confidence, joy, and hope. I will not spread news that I do not know to be certain, and will not criticize or condemn things of which I am not sure. I will refrain from uttering words that can cause division or discord, or that can cause the family or the community to break. I am determined to make all efforts to reconcile and resolve all conflicts, however small. Continuing to read Ajahn Thanissara's book, The Karma of Questions, and this part of the essay is from a section, Association with People of Integrity. Because the Dhamma consists primarily of qualities of the mind, any written account of the Dhamma is only a pale shadow of the real thing. Thus, to gain a sense of the Dhamma's full dimensions, you must find people who embody the Dhamma in their thoughts, words, and deeds, and associate with them in a way that enables you to absorb as much of the Dhamma as possible. The passage explaining this factor thus offers advice in two areas: how to recognize people of integrity, and how to best associate with them once you've found them. The immediate sign of integrity is gratitude. Quote, a person of integrity is grateful and acknowledges the help given to him. This gratitude, this acknowledgement is second nature among admirable people. It is entirely on the level of people of integrity. End quote. Gratitude is a necessary sign of integrity in that people who do not recognize and value the goodness and integrity in others are unlikely to make the effort to develop integrity within themselves. On its own, though, gratitude doesn't constitute integrity. The essence of integrity lies in three qualities: truth, harmlessness, and discernment. Quote, there's a case where a monk lives in dependence on a certain village or town. Then a householder or householder's son goes to him and observes him with regard to three mental qualities: qualities based on greed, qualities based on aversion, qualities based on delusion. Are there in this venerable one any such qualities based on greed, aversion, delusion, that, with his mind overcome by these qualities, he might say, I know, while not knowing, or say, I see, while not seeing, or that he might urge another to act in a way that was for his or her long-term harm and pain? As he observes him, he comes to know there are in this venerable one no such qualities. His bodily and verbal behavior are those of one not greedy, aversive, deluded, and the Dhamma he teaches is deep, hard to see, hard to realize, tranquil, refined, beyond the scope of conjecture, subtle, to be experienced by the wise. End quote. As this passage shows, knowledge of a person's truthfulness requires that you be so observant of his or her behavior that you can confidently infer the quality of his or her mind. This level of confidence, in turn, requires that you not only be observant, but also discerning and willing to take time, for as another passage points out, the appearance of spiritual integrity is easy to fake. Quote, Then King Pasenadi Kosala went to the Blessed One, and on arrival, having bowed down to him, sat to one side. Then 7 coiled hair ascetics, 7 Jain ascetics, 7 clothless ascetics, 7 one-cloth ascetics, and 7 wanderers, their nails grown long, their body hair grown long, walked past, not far from the Blessed One. On seeing them, King Pasenadi arranged his upper robe over one shoulder, knelt down with his right knee on the ground, saluted the ascetics with his hands before his heart, and announced his name to them 3 times. I am the king, venerable sirs, Pasenadi Kosala. I am the king, venerable sirs, Pasenadi Kosala. I am the king, venerable sirs, Pasenadi Kosala. Then not long after the ascetics had passed, he returned to the Blessed One, and on arrival, having bowed down to him, sat to one side. As he was sitting there, he said to the Blessed One, of those in the world, who are arhants, or on the path of arhantship? Are these among them? Your Majesty, as a layman enjoying sensual pleasures, living crowded with wives and children, using Kasi fabrics and sandalwood, wearing garlands, scents, and creams, handling gold and silver, it's hard for you to know whether these are arhants or on the path to arhantship. 1. It's through living together that a person's virtue may be known, and then only after a long period, not a short period, by one who is attentive, not by one who is inattentive, by one who is discerning, not by one who isn't discerning. 2. It's through trading with a person that his purity may be known. 3. It's through adversity that a person's endurance may be known. 4. It's through discussion that a person's discernment may be known, and then only after a long period, not a short period, by one who is attentive, not by one who is inattentive, by one who is discerning, not by one who isn't discerning. Amazing, Lord, astounding, how well that was put by the Blessed One. These men, Lord, are my spies, my scouts, returning after going out through the countryside. They go out first, and then I go. Now, when they have scrubbed off the dirt and mud, are well bathed and well perfumed, have trimmed their hair and beards, and have put on white clothes, they will go about endowed and provided with 5 strings of sensuality. End quote. AN 4192 expands on these points, indicating that the ability to recognize a person of integrity requires you to have a strong sense of integrity yourself. In fact, MN 110 insists that you must be a person of integrity in your actions, views, and friendships if you are to recognize integrity in another. May all beings be well. May all beings be happy. May all beings be peaceful. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Thank you for joining me this morning.